back in action for the cube.
Looks like you're still previewing. Or wait.
No,
Oh, okay. All right, never mind. That's
we are running.
excellent.
We are here.
Cube X3. Triple cube.
Triple cube. Cube. What even kind of cube is that?
Triple cube.
Triple cube. Ah, the triple cube. But yeah, so the cube is still around for a week past today, even. So
Okay, so this is a legacy cube.
this is the legacy cube.
So there aren't any more swords,
There are no swords.
and there's no storm.
There is no storm.
There's no power.
There's no power. Well, there's no power.
Right.
There's definitely power.
So what we're left with is ramp. Like ramp is just the thing then.
That's one of them. It's what we've been dipping into a lot. Oh, we're moving fast. They also got rid of a couple of the more annoying, like, true name Nemesis. Was one that was brought up as, like, this unanswerable jerk.
Yeah. Like him plus sword, whatever. It's like,
You lose.
oh, look, I'm only getting to two. These two cards were true name nemesis and sword of body and mind.
Oh, well, how nice for me. Verb.
You're like main decking all of your edicts, right?
So this is what we get. We get,
Wait, Dark Ritual is still here.
Dark Ritual's the only... I was going to mention it when you mentioned Storm, but I wasn't certain if it would show up this quickly. Dark Writ's the only piece of it that's still around, because you can go, like, Dark Writ hippie.
I see.
What we do have is Noble Hierarch. We have some aggressive red stuff. We have, like, removal in Bone Shredder and Banishing Light. We got the big fat targets for the ramp in the Woodfall Premise over there. You did mention, though, that ramp is a good strategy.
Yeah, I'm kind of leaning towards Noble Hierarch myself.
Yeah.
I think of all of the picks, it's the least committed of anything and still reasonably powerful as everything else.
Yeah, it's certainly the pick over the other, like, Search for Tomorrow.
Yeah. Search for Tomorrow is fine, don't get me wrong.
Yeah. One drops are really important to the ramp deck, and Noble Hierarch, I think I would flat say, is the best one. All right, so now we're in a much different land here with cards such as Garrick Relentless, Gifts Ungiven, Wasteland, Yavimaya Elder.
Oh, Painseer is in this cube.
Painseer. All right.
Isn't that cute?
Not
Inspired. The worst of all Dark Confidants. I'd probably just pick the Planeswalker and not look back.
Yeah, that's definitely safest. I'm trying to think what other options we could go with. If we want to be super tasty, something like Gifts Ungiven to try to build reanimate. I don't even. I already hate that.
Yeah, like, you pick the Gifts Ungiven after you have the rights, unburial rights.
I was sitting there looking at Precinct Captain for the, like, aggressive plan, but that's, like, not a strong enough aggressive card for me. It's a good card, but it's not. Alright, what do we get here? Something. Ooh, Karmic Guide. Crater's Claws, Obstinate to Baloth. With a Karmic Guide pick this early, I can design a little more around
Yeah,
it.
like, let's pretend that we haven't actually picked any cards, and Karmic Guide has just got to be it.
Right, and even if we, with these, like, Hierarch ramps into it.
Wow,
and
even fixes for it.
It fixes for it,
Nuts.
which is more realistic. And sadly, let's see, given Karmic Guide existing, I would...
Yeah, haven't we been trying to do that for the last million cubes?
I've been trying to get Karmic Guide and Revelark in the same room for, like, months. You ever notice how you never see Karmic Guide and Revelark in the same room? It's weird.
Hmm.
Hmm. But yeah, we're not Progenitus either. That's not us. So, if we are the Karmic Guide deck, wow, this looks. I freaking love this pack.
This pack is kind of nutty.
Okay, so Sylvan Caryatid is a ramp piece. Kiora is
Mhm.
something we can splash off of the Hierarch even. Sower is also pretty strong with Karmic Guide Revelark plan.
Mhm. What does Kiora actually do?
+1 to make something not deal damage, -1 to explore, -5 to make a Kraken every turn.
Hmm. Yeah, I like Sylvan Caryatid well enough.
Yeah, fixing is super good here.
2 loyalty on Kiora. How did that never register to me?
Very low, dies
Huh.
to a bolt even after the plus. Sower's the card that really tempts me, but we already have very strong green, and this is helpful to it. Now, what do we... Ashiok and Garruk Apex Predator. I need to remind myself what you do. Okay.
So he's like a Nicole Bolas planeswalker.
Basically, beats up on planeswalkers, beats up on creatures, is a token generator, has a kind of lackluster ultimate.
Uh, 3/3 beast every turn.
Is that better than anything else we can pick here? Like, is Vengevine worthwhile?
Wheel. Vengevine looks pretty good with Noble Hierarch and company.
Just as Hasty
Yeah,
Man?
you might
Yeah,
you might ever reanimate him.
as a Hasty Man? Polukranos?
That's a big
I
guy.
mean, if okay, so we have Hierarch and Caryatid, and then things on 4. I've seen this deck before. It's generally pretty good.
What excites me a little is seeing Zealous Conscripts here.
Mmm.
Yeah.
Oh. Oh, so you're aware, the entire Kiki Jiki Infinite combo is in the cube.
Oh, excellent.
Like, Kiki Pestermite, Splinter Twin, and Deceiver Exarch all make a showing. Tooth and Nail would be cool. I don't think, one, I don't think the ramp we have is enough to support it. Two, we don't have the big guys yet. And I kind
Yeah,
of
like
want...
who needs to ramp into big guys when you have Polukranos on 4? Like, geez. Oh no.
Oh, it's happened!
So
Yes,
there's
yes,
only
yes,
one
yes,
card
yes,
in this
yes,
pack.
yes, 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 yes. Okay, so here's the important thing now. Creatures with 2 power or less are the greatest. Like, Reclamation Sage, the best. If we get Mirror Entity, the game ends. We need Tutors, we need Fauna Shaman, moves to the top of the list. What else? A lot of things have opened up to us. The interaction here is that Revelark will bring back Karmic Guide, which brings back Revelark, which then will die to its echo here, which will then be brought back by Revelark. So, what do we get that works with it?
Doom Traveler. Maybe Isolated Chapel here.
Yeah, looking at like Gray Merchant recursion, but I I don't think that's possible.
Well,
is that worth the pick though? Is that like, well,
yeah,
just in case
yeah.
this could work? We have some fixing. Who knows? I don't feel like I'm passing too terribly much for it. Bone Shredder,
Burning Tree Emissary.
Burning Tree Emissary, and Search for Tomorrow. Um,
Oh look, I pulled some mana out of my graveyard. Or a kill spell.
well, this is a kill spell I can pull out of my graveyard.
That's good too. And now that we're in black, apparently.
What if we were 3-color? Just putting that out there.
Oh, okay. So we're a wedge. We're Abzan
Yeah.
right here.
Um.
Animate Dead for redundancy or Pain Seer for bear.
We saw in the last draft that Anime Dead can lift very, very heavily.
Wait, that can grab their creatures too, right?
Yes.
An
We
enchant
had
creature card in a graveyard.
yeah, we had Massacre Worm and Anime Dead do a lot of heavy lifting last
Yeah,
week.
I caught a little bit of that. That was like your win condition is just massacre worm them out of the game.
I'm gonna pick up a duel in case of splashing Mole Drifter specifically. That's the card I'm looking for here with this pick. Look, my greed has opened up. Like,
Everything. We need a discard outlet pretty badly.
yeah, Abrupt Decay is probably pickable here. The thing here is that if we get like Fauna Shaman, that would be the discard outlet.
And somebody's going to be happy to see Bloodline Keeper.
Mm-hmm.
Man,
Yeah, I'm in hyper greed mode, and I do not care. Um,
active aggression.
yeah, is that better than like already? You know what? I'm gonna pick Gatekeeper in case we get to that point. We probably won't. Is this a discard outlet?
That kind of is.
Sort of. And Sarcomancy. All right. Okay, so we have the combo. Now we just need the rest of the deck to work around it. Our white is 2 cards. What else below the cut? Useful Temple, Thoughtseize, committing a bit heavier to black if I wanted to. I'll move the cut back up. Man. Okay. So I'm looking at what else? I'm looking at Thoughtseize. I'm looking at sort of looking at Arbor Elf. I'm looking at Temple of Silence. I guess Angel of Serenity. I'm not that interested in Ajani.
Johnny's steadfast.
Thoughtseize is a discard outlet.
I don't think we're thought seizing ourselves.
Well, how about we Thoughtseize our opponent?
That would be okay.
Okay.
I dig.
All right. As long as that works, I'd be good with that. Like, the world where we Thoughtseize ourselves is so wrong. Below the cut, we have Disfigure, Young Pyromancer. We have Elspeth, Cryptic, Mirren Crusader, Maelstrom Pulse, Hornet freaking Queen.
Oh man. Okay. I know Hornet Queen is bonkers.
I know.
And I know that it even works super well with our plan, and I know that we're in green.
Mm-hmm.
But no one's gonna pick that card, so we should pick Elspeth.
It's the only green card in the pack. There's no way it comes back around. The other guy who picked up the Woodfall Primus that didn't come back around will pick it. Like,
I cannot even believe that we are passing Elspeth Nightmares. Okay, you know what? Yeah, combo deck. We're combo deck. That's fine. We don't have to have consistent power. We don't need to have a 4-mana card that can win the game on its own. Forget that.
oh, damn it. Kaz.
We'll just pick Hornet Queen already.
I'm doing it.
Pick it before I change my damn
I'm
mind.
picking it. Okay, Blade Splicer.
God damn.
Blade Splicer was an old standby in the Restoration Angel decks, and it'll...
See, Blade Splicer is hella real on its own. With like Grey Merchant of Asphodel, that's this like, what is even happening?
Yeah.
We could have been super friends. We could have had a Johnny, we could have had Elspeth, Soren. A Johnny like pumps everybody up.
We're gonna lose to Super Friends, and then it'll be just fine.
Because you whiffed on that Garruk Apex Predator, he could have taken them all out.
Oh God! Oh no! That's me. I am owned on that. I'm picking up Blade Splicer here though. What we'll want coming up, I think the most important stuff in the next couple picks is going to be fixing. We have limited amounts right now, so finding any duels would be great. Mirror entity is at the top of the list of neat to find. Looks like Bayou showed up.
And going up by our theme of passing up powerful white cards that could win the game on their own. Yep.
Yep. So our opponent goes turn 3 Brimaz, turn 4 jump Brimaz, and we are owned, right? Like, that's it.
That is one of the most disgusting things I have heard.
That could have been us, but it's not. Basically,
Nope.
if I hadn't seen Revelar Karmic Guide, it probably would have been us.
Going to the Bayou.
Yeah, we're going to the Bayou.
Like mulligan aggressively.
I guess Stinkweed Imp coming back wouldn't be bad. Big old creatures in Temple Garden. Really... Oh man, Goblin Bombardment.
Wait, that's here? My god.
So I mentioned earlier that the combo is an infinite loop. I don't think I can pick that.
Yeah.
I'm not
But
that
really what we
greedy.
need is one of the sorceries that can work from the yard. And then we just like full on graveyard and never look back.
Yo, give me Dread Return. Yeah.
Dread return on burial rights.
Yeah. We're
Just
we're
those-
getting close to all on graveyard with Animate Dead, Grizzly Selvage. Like, it could keep going with like Satyr Wayfinder. Mirror Ball.
The old Katamiri.
Mm-hmm.
Like Satyr Wayfinder here. Again, he's the support that will get us to the combo.
Right, he puts some junk in the. Wow, we have Vengevine too with this. I did pass up Bloodghast a little earlier. Didn't realize we were this graveyard heavy. I guess at that point, but we might find like the Blood Champion or something else. I don't feel like Mere Battle Sphere is the top end we want, but it's definitely cool. Yeah, man, this is a deck that really wants on Burial Rites, is what I'm seeing.
Well, there's your Mold Drifter.
Mm-hmm. I'm sitting here looking at Birthing Pod.
Well, that would be a way to find our stuff.
Right, that's like, Wayfinder into Blade Splicer, into Vengevine, into that. But there's also Mill Drifter.
I think we should pick Birthing Pod.
Rest in peace, Mill Drifter. I'm sorry.
I know, we're already 3 colors. I can't let you do it.
Alright, Exhume if we want to be the Hyper Graveyardman, or Cultivate if we want to actually cast spells.
Let's cultivate for now, I think.
Yeah, I'm just looking to see...
I mean, there is the offhand chance that we just do Noble Hierarch into Polychronos and be like, yep,
Yep.
that's our deck.
we have,
Right
yeah, we
away.
have this combo thing going on, but who really needs that when you have okay, Angel of Serenity coming back. Temple of Silence probably is the pick here, though, just for fixing again being the most important thing to a 3-color deck. Johnny Steadfast is +1/+1, and okay. Man, Angel of Serenity. Ah, well. Casting spells is more important than having these huge ones. Caves of Koilos.
Wow, we're getting a lot of fixing.
Yeah, if we just keep on this.
Maybe I'm used to cons of Tarkir.
Yeah.
So it's like pick fixing highlight, and there's just none. After all,
Pestermites. Like, we're not a Chrome Mox deck.
Nah, not really. Hey, there's Stinkweed Imp.
What about Sin Collector? Now that we have the pod thing going on.
Well,
2 power creature.
sure.
Could.
Sure, he's like exile duress.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Yosai, I think fits with the pod shenanigans better. I'm gonna say that sentence. I'm picking Rancor because we are 3-color and therefore can't really support playing Rich Downport. Why is Goblin Electromancer in the cube if Storm is dead?
Spite. It's gotta be.
Spite.
Like, don't you remember, guys? Remember what Storm was? We don't.
Okay, so we've got 2 extremely good options here, it looks like to me, and they're both in the upper right-hand corner. We have Deranged Hermit, which is probably one of the top list creatures for us to return with Revelark, being 9 power. And we have Voice of Resurgence, which is not top list, but is a very powerful 2. It works very well with the Birthing Pod. So I think those are the 2 options here. Everything else is kind of out there.
Let's pick the more powerful card.
I like that plan. I like that because maybe we play Deranged Hermit early with our ramp pieces. Deranged Hermit has 1 power. 1. We'll get the job done. Voice of Resurgence is also the more likely card to table. Being a multicolored card, the only people that would pick it are the ones that either are hating it or Dual Caster Mage. Yeah, Explorer and Findhorn Elves, Sphere of the Suns.
Ophiomancer.
Oof. Snakes. You get free snakes.
Free snakes.
Free snakes. I think it's a question of these 3 ramp pieces, and I don't know what I've highlighted here.
You've collected several cards from this pack.
I'm gonna immediately put it on Sphere of the Suns as fixing. The others are very, like, Fiendhorn and everything else is very powerful, but being a 3-color deck, this sort of fixing kind of jumps out at me. You know?
Yeah. Yeah, what the heck. We have a lot of things that work with both Birthing Pod and Revelark already.
Right. And none of the things here, like Elves, Explorer, Chainers, are terribly huge with the Pod. Ooh, it works well with Pod.
More pods! Oh, look at this.
The ability to just pick somewhere on our curve and be at it.
Wow, Zathard Necromancer here.
I have to pass up Savannah. I
Savannah.
think is the most relevant card here.
Disgusting. Let's do it.
Yep. Hoping Necromancer, Nighthawk, Library, Savannah, Wild Mongrel, Volrath Stronghold. All of those would be powerful tables.
Well, there's your Dread Return.
Yeah, okay, this pack has every card I basically want in it.
Like, okay, if we had picked the Bloodghast and the Stinkweed Imp, you would be picking Dread Return here.
Right, but sadly we don't have a ton of ways outside of, like, Deranged Hermit to make that work. Yeah, there's definitely Sun Titan. That's definitely there. There's E-Witness, there's Disciple of Bolus, there's Brushland Boonsater. I don't know what's correct. Jeez. gonna go with the Titan. God.
Uh-huh. Just go for the throat, maybe.
Yeah, looking at everything in here, it's like, okay, I guess we just like the gatekeeper's obviously not getting played, so another piece of spot removal to go with Bone Shredder isn't gonna hurt, and nothing else in here really looks that appealing. Mind Stone might be interesting. War Gear is a whoa. War Gear is a free sack outlet.
Uh-huh. In case you need to make infinite squirrels.
Infinite Gray Merchants.
It'll come back. No one needs that
No
crap.
one needs that. Yeah, nobody needs that. Sheldred is the top end, or Mother of Runes is the bottom end. Emrakul's flat out. That's not happening on our curve. Diabolic Servitude's also not bad. I think it's Mother of Runes. Yeah, Sheldred's back in here, along with Corrupt.
We'll be able to birthing pod one of our tokens for Mom.
That sounds pretty powerful now. It's like we go ahead and sack a deranged hermit squirrel to go get Garrick Wildspeaker flat.
Yo, best Garuk.
Yeah, Mana Confluence, Skin Render, Ultimate Price. Ultimate Price doesn't really speak to me because we already have Go for the Throat. Skin Render is basically Bone Shredder, so it also doesn't speak to me. So then it becomes Garrick versus Mana Confluence. And the question is, do we need the fixing?
Well, we have 5 dual lands right now.
Mm.
Well, 4. Because I don't know that we're playing Hinterland Harbor.
I haven't played this Garrick in a long time, and I would like to.
Oh my god!
I'm very happy about this. Like, there's also Llanowar Waste and Gerard's Verdict in here, which are...
Yeah. Hell, Night Howler is powerful as heck.
Yeah. Well, especially with we got, like, the mill plan going on, so that Night Howler is actually real for us.
Right. I believe that he is a 0/0 in the yard. That is not a characteristic setting ability.
No, it's not. It's not Star.
That's a static ability, so you could target it with Revelar.
All right, so we didn't get back our the other guy we wanted out of here, the voice. Looks like we could have Bone Splitter, which is basically Rancor, a Quarter Paladin, which I don't think our deck really cares too much about. Fire Arena could not be horrible.
Makes Gray Merchant better. Sure.
Sad we didn't get the Mirror Entity. Ophiomancer or Chainer's Edict? How many ways do we have to abuse that snake? Looking at cards, not a ton. I think I'll take Edict here. I want a way to interact with things like Geist of St. Traft.
Whoa!
Didn't expect all these back. There's an argument to be made by basically every card but Hordling Outburst in here. F.
I'm
gonna go with the Stronghold.
Yeah. Okay.
Dread Return.
Wow!
Disciple of Bolus.
Both Dread Return and Unburial Rites.
I think we're doing that. Yeah.
I am blown away. Like we have a lot of tokens, so That'll be just fine. You got the grafted war gear because of course you did. Because look at this junk.
This is so junk. I love it.
That guy, okay, that art, that guy is so disappointed to be on the art of grafted war gear.
Hey, do you want like another copy of?
Redundancy? Sure.
Like the same thing we already have. And Olivia.
The grafted war gear, that guy's like, no, I'm on a terrible card.
What is even going on here? Okay, so Hinterland Harbor out. All you jokers can go over here.
Poor Olivia Volderen.
Yep. Poor Olivia.
So powerful, so incredible in that one draft that we had where there were no good creatures.
Yep. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and establish the core. The core is basically every card that's 2 or less power that I want to play with the combo. Not every card that exists at 2 or less, but every card I would want to return with Revelark is, I think, the criteria here. And that's what I'm considering the core elements. I guess Revelark fits in the core elements in that sense.
Given how many interactions we found, I really want Grizzly Salvage and what's his satyr face to make their way into.
Yes, I think what this turns out to be is so Phyrexian Metamorph looks real strong with Revelark Recursion, by the way. So I think what this looks like is we get Unburial Rites, we get our graveyard, Grizzly Salvage. So this is the graveyard package. Vengevine's maybe a part of that. Animate Dead's also part of this. And then I guess at that rate, like Sun Titan and like Pelucranos get to stick in because they're the big men on campus. Dread Return or Diabolic Servitude?
I'd much rather have Dread Return if it's that.
Yeah, I'm just reading the exact... Like, I know it removes the creature from play, but I need to know when the creature put on the battlefield... Okay, so it does remove it, and then Diabolic Servitude goes back to hand. Noble Hierarch, Sylvan Caryatid, Cultivate, get in, Sphere of the Suns gets in. I need to make a lot of cuts. This is 14 cards, and only 3 of them can stay. So I'm gonna do this then. And then we'll go ahead and sort this by CMC.
Are we really doing Grey Merchant?
That's a great question. It's basically Drain Life for 2, and that's all it is. Let me I need to look at something here. Do we have an infinite? This is important. If we have an infinite, the Grey Merchant gets to stay.
I think any infinite is going to involve grafted war gear.
Yeah. But grafted war gear is because Birthing Pod won't give us an infinite. It just gives us sack Revelark to go get Sun Titan. Okay, is there an infinite involving Phyrexian Metamorph? I don't think so. I believe you're right in that Grey Merchant is probably not good in here. Oh, Birthing Pod seems pretty freaking strong in here.
Okay.
So then the rest is what do we want to fill out the secondary removal-ish cards and one of the Garrick's perhaps, or say the Morning Star. We put grafted. Whoa. Okay. Hear me out.
Okay.
We put grafted war gear on Sylvan Caryatid, and then we have a dog that has hexproof. So the perfectest creature. It even makes mana. Um, Dread Return, perhaps. Dread Return is really good with Deranged Hermit.
And Hornet Queen, probably.
Yeah, and Hornet Queen. That's definitely. So I think that might be. I'm gonna call that acceptable. Um,
So I guess from here, what's our favorite spot removal?
yeah, I think we get to pick in one of our pieces of removal and then one wild card of our choice. Um, I know if Gnome Bitten were at the helm, it would be these two over here.
Well, having a lot of tokens means you could like suit up something with a Grafted Warrior, just send it in, and it dies, and you don't care.
We play Grafted War Gear on 3, and then we play Vengevine on 4, and our opponent just gets utterly crushed under this giant Vengevine. Something like that.
Do we have anything with Trample? No, like Garruk Wild Speaker's Ultimate.
Yeah, Garruk Wild Speaker's Ultimate.
Even Polychronos doesn't get it, does he?
No, he doesn't.
He just gets big. Okay, that's why he can be 4 mana, I suppose.
Yep, because he doesn't trample. Abrupt Decay or Go for the Throat are my two favorite pieces of removal in here.
Of course, like Go for the Throat for not being as hard on the mana. And I don't think that...
Trample.
Oh, that is a source of trample.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
That is technically... Yes, so I'm putting like Rancor and Grafted War Gear on a guy, and...
That sounds like the most going to town... You know what, screw it.
All right.
I need a cut if I'm going to do this. One cut. Actually, I should sort by CMC and then sort by groups. Or no, group separately. Unburial Rights is yes. Birthing Pot is yes. Dread Return is yes. Grafted War Gear is yes. Cultivate is looking like the weakest link here. Yikes. Maybe Rancor isn't necessary? Who cares about Trample if we just have the Abyss?
Yeah, okay. I didn't realize that you had put Rancor in.
Okay.
Like, I'm not so hot and heavy about Trample. Besides, the Ophiomancer, which...
We don't have.
We didn't pick. Okay, never mind.
So,
you'd have the death touch stake. Oh yeah, no, there's a strong case to be made for not actually having Green Merchant of Asphodel and Grafted War here in our deck.
oh, absolutely.
But you know what?
I'm sure there's a case that somebody could make about it, but not listening.
Yeah.
So we have 5 lands, and it looks like pretty even split on these two.
So let's see. How does our infinite go?
Our infinite involves controlling Revelark, Karmic Guide, Grey Merchant, and Grafted War Gear. And I guess one other creature. Oh, no. We need to be able to unattach. Ooh, maybe that doesn't work. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Abort. I'm aborting. We need a creature to unattach the Grafted War Gear onto, and we don't have that in the infinite. That's not a piece of it. So, there we go. Garruk Wild Speaker, go for the throat in. Okay, so, green is 6/3/3.
I wanted an island in there Or what? Phyrexian Metamorph?
Mm-hmm. All right, yeah. I'm glad to like. Thank you for asking. We would have tried to pull it off in the middle of the game and realized that you
Like, oh
need.
wait, Gary is now huge, but oh no!
Yeah, because you can't unequip. Like, you can't just put it on nothing. So, no combo. We just have infinite value, which is a combo in and of itself.
Oh boy.
Looking strong. Looking beautiful. This will be good. Okay, Hornet Queen in hand isn't exactly where we want it, but that's fine. We have a very good curve.
The voice of resurgence.
Sack Tribe.
Hmm.
This is like Sakura Tribe Elder.
It's also like mulch.
Yeah. Forest. Sun Titan Deranged Hermit. Well, we're holding Karmic Guide, so all those are looking spicy. So once we hit 5, like Sun Titan brings back land for free. Our opponent is also doing some sort of ramp. Oh no! Who could have foreseen this?
Yeah, I guess we're getting crushed by that card.
If only somehow somebody would have foreseen this possible outcome.
Yeah, who could have done such a thing?
I don't know.
Anyway,
Mm-hmm.
Blade Splicer's pretty good against that too.
Yeah.
Send in the Wayfinder.
Do I want to sack the Wayfinder? I actually think I want to hold it back because
Fair enough.
The birthing pod.
Okay, so we like pod sack the Wayfinder into a Sin Collector. Like I don't.
I think is that our other 3? I think it's or a Bone Shredder.
Oh, Bone Shredder.
Bone Shredder
Yeah,
was
that would
my
be good.
actual thought. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
Like-
that's pretty good.
Clear the path. We probably are fine with Blade Splicer dying too. That'll be very powerful.
Yeah.
Courser of Crewfix is a creature asking me to play Bone Shredder.
Good enough for me. Oh, another token. Okay.
Okay, and we have
I dig.
Oracle of Moldiah on the top. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and pay a bunch of life.
That is how the birthing pod turn works.
Wait, there are 2 separate abilities on the card?
That's
cute.
I feel that is incorrect.
And
But it
Bone
will.
Shredder comes out, and Bone Shredder does some shredding. And now we attack at Elspeth. Now we hope that he goes ahead and just trades off with Blade Splicer.
Wow.
Okay.
Oh no, our golem doesn't have first strike
Oh
anymore.
no!
It's almost like 3 mana for a 3/3 and more isn't good enough.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so next turn we untap, land, Karmic Guide, Sun Titan, either Blade Splicer or Bone Shredder, because that'll be in the yard. And then our opponent just goes, what the hell is even real? I already love this deck way too much. Bone Shredder plus Sun Titan being the killer combo.
Birthing pod being a 1-card combo.
Mm-hmm. Our black is for 5 cards. Bone Shredder, go for the throat. Dread Return, Sin Collector, on burial rights, and I think there actually might be one more. I think there's one more on there. It doesn't come to me, though.
Hmm.
So our opponent, who just drew Oracle of Moldiah, is going to be considering options very carefully. He can play Oracle, and if the top card of his deck is land, he gets to kind of keep rolling. He missed a land drop last turn. He didn't miss a land drop. He missed the land drop off the top. So if this Oracle misses, okay.
Wow, Hero Blade Hold.
Well, luckily we have a really cool answer to that, and Bone Shredder comes back into play. Because that's my answer to everything for the next, 5 turns.
I'm gonna step away. Bring us news of our victory. I guess I'm not actually stepping away. I shouldn't joke.
Okay. Here we go. Karmic Guide, give me Sun Titan. Sun Titan, give me Bone Shredder.
I do wish to use that ability, actually. Who'd have thunk?
Now we go ahead and attack Elspeth, and then Elspeth gets, a Trump Blocker.
Would all opponents' permanents being indestructible forever actually be bad?
I wouldn't like it. And I'm going to choose to deal with it if at all possible.
Okay.
Now, our opponent might have O-Ring. That's effectively O-Ring to me.
Well, the creature actually... Oh, does it get exiled?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, shoot. Okay.
So, now the question is, do we want to pay a cost to keep, Karmic Guide around?
Well, what else are we doing on this turn? Maybe, Garuk and make a beast?
Well, actually, okay, here's a better question. I could keep Bone Shredder around and then Bone Shred into a Vengevine. How does that sound? I think that works.
That sounds okay.
And then the Vengevine can later become a copy of Revel Arc, setting this all up again. So we do want to pay the Bone Shredder's cost.
Pay for Echo?
And we will not pay this Echo.
Okay.
Okay, awkward.
That's, that awkward moment where everything is terrible. So we just attack with Bone Shredder and get our Polychronos.
Yeah.
We kept that in, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So we do get a damage on Elspeth, which is important. I don't want Elspeth to be able to ult, especially not when our opponent's next play is Hero Blade Hold.
God damn it, Vengevine.
Thanks, Vengevine. Yo!
It's okay. It's okay. Haste.
Shriekmaw? Hero Blade Hold. Okay.
Haste makes this all great. Either that or we fight something. How does fighting the token strike you?
we can do that in addition to either Garrick or Vengevine in the turn.
Garrett could get a Sphere of the Suns,
Garrick can
which
also
could
get us.
get us Birthing Pod mana. That's kind of a huge turn.
I could also do. I'm sitting here thinking. I think Polukranos Fight Soldier is correct. Our opponent has 2 unknown cards in hand. Garrick untap 2 lands, or Garrick make a beast even. How bad is Garrick make a beast? The thing I don't like about... What if I played Garrick, untapped my mana, and then fought both Soldier and Hero of Bladehold?
Ooh, just crushed him.
Well, I can't crush Hero of Bladehold alone. I can only deal 3 damage. The thought here would be I would play Garrick, deal a damage to Hero Bladehold and Soldier, and then attack for lethal at Elspeth, making Hero block on Golem a lethal block.
Sounds good.
So I think that's my play.
Look how much effort we're spending to try and kill Elspeth.
I know. This all could have been avoided. Very easily, actually. This didn't have to happen. So we're now representing a lethal threat at Elspeth as well, or killing Hero Bladehold. There is no alternate option here. Alright, so that will let Polukranos and those 2 trade, which is okay because we still have Vengevine and Garrick Wildspeaker ult and Hornet Queen. Maybe I just go for Garrick ult with Hornet Queen.
God.
Is that real? Like, does my opponent's, like, my opponent's cards mean anything if that's my game plan? Thrun? Okay.
I like that game plan a lot. It would mean that we have to protect Garrick.
Well, playing Hornet Queen is effective enough at protecting Garrick. And I also get a Vengevine on the lethal turn.
Goodness. The lethal turn, he says, killing his opponent from 20.
And then, is Birthing Pod for anything worthwhile? We don't have any 8s.
We do have ones. What, Mom?
Noble Hierarch. Is Noble Hierarch attack with Golem real?
Just like... So he trades off Thrun in order to have Elspeth not go to 2?
Or blocks with Soldier Token.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't like that as well.
Yeah, how about we just do nothing then? We just hold back.
Yeah.
I'm gonna...
do nothing, he says, making an army. I'll just have 5 creatures.
What if I do
Yeah,
nothing?
No big.
Yes, I am aware Mother Runes is not in the deck.
Oh.
It was...
Okay, surprise.
Yeah, sorry.
Whoops.
It probably should be. Also, Elspeth is still here.
Elspeth is tougher to kill than our opponent.
What if we just killed our opponent instead?
That's the math on this one. Okay, who's this going at? It's got to be Garruk, right?
Yep, so that means a insect token gets to die.
He spends his regeneration mana on an invincible creature. It's fine. So, that source of trample that I was talking about,
We have it.
that's
We have
We
Death
suddenly-
Touch Trample, too.
that's that's pretty impressive.
Tarmogoyf?
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Cool.
Alright, so here's some quick math.
Oh, Lord Volrath Stronghold.
5...
kidding.
You know what? Math is for losers and people who don't control an army.
I am green so that I don't have to do math. Yeah, okay.
What if our opponent just left? Alright, so the correct solution to Elspeth is just don't give a crap.
You destroy the opponent.
Yeah,
That's
kill
that's
the
pretty good.
player.
Birthing Pod might well be the best thing. Just having excellent selection over all of our stuff.
Thinking on Yosei, thinking on...
What, you say just to have a 6? Oh,
Yeah.
Sun Titans are 6.
Sun Titans are 6. Animate that was our last black card. Go for the Throat is still real, I think?
I didn't see any artifacts out of him.
Yeah, like we had Hex, but he has
Mhm.
token generation, so... It's, yeah, Thoughtseize or Mother Runes. Thoughtseize gives us a bit more of an answer to his... Elspeth.
Elspeth was the only relevant card that he had, and even it wasn't all that.
Mm-hmm. What if we just rock and roll? I'm so happy this deck came together. Karmic Guide.
The long-awaited Karmic Guide Revel Arc deck.
Mm-hmm.
The deck where we'll look like we have nothing. No cards in hand, nothing on our board, and then suddenly, what's this?
Wha-bam! Wait a minute.
Animate Dead Karmic Guide Revel Arc. What? Behold!
Yeah, our opponent had a lot of moves. We just had bigger ones. Hank 333. Born in the year 19333. Is not doing so hot.
Yeah, kind of weak names this time around, I'm afraid.
Yeah.
I like Troop 1023.
All right. See if we can get a beautiful hand like before.
Huh. 5 lands, Hornet Queen, and Deranged Hermit, huh?
All colors and a Scryland. This is what I would call questionable.
If we mulligan this, we are never seeing any lands again.
Based on the Scryland, I'm actually okay with it.
Oh man, Windswept Heath.
Oh,
Sign
man.
me up.
Certain Savannah. Arbor Elf. Get out of here with that.
Next turn, Precinct Captain, and we're just crushed. Hey, Grizzly Salvage. Excellent. That'll get a creature.
I think Dread Return. Ooh. I don't have double black, actually.
Yeah, okay.
But I'm drawing Grizzly Salvage.
Like we don't actually have discard outlets, right?
Well, Grizzly Salvage is top 5. Throw something in the yard.
Well, sure, but like the things that we want to reanimate are already in our hand. I think we could do better than Dread Return.
Yeah, I think I'm living in like the super fantasy land where
So,
this mills Sun Titan plus like 1,000 other cool things. You know, I want to live in that world.
okay.
So here's what Grizzly Salvage needs to reveal: a Black Source, Sun Titan, and like that entire line of play we had last game. That. Voice of Resurgence.
Ooh.
Well,
Well now.
well, this is getting cast right now.
Yeah, how about them instants?
Pelucranos, a Black Source.
Well, I guess we're taking the black source. Well, unless you just want a huge guy.
I mean, Pelucranos is like, why Dread Return Pelucranos when I can just play Pelucranos, right? Like,
Hey, he does cost 4 mana. Yeah, okay.
I like my cool plan and all. Also, my opponent missed the land drop.
Earthing potted in the yard is kind of sorry.
Mm-hmm. And there's little we can do about that, but that. I think that's like that was known risk of the Grizzly Salvage. Oh, blood.
Oh, the Khans of Tarkir Bloodstained Mire.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay. Deranged Hermit's a good play, too.
No, I don't think we do have Eternal Witness.
No,
we got
picked the
Sun
Sun
Titan. Yeah.
It was a very difficult choice between about 3 or 4 cards. And I mean, I understand not knowing what we have because our deck is so ridiculous.
Oh, we don't need a black source. We're just gonna play green large things or a swamp.
Or we'll just draw
whatever.
it anyway, whatever. Hi.
Squirrels.
Squirrel team, assemble!
That's pretty rad illustration on the squirrel token.
So, squirrel tokens here. We're going to see a lot of these, by the way. There's going to be 12 in total over the next 2 to 3 turns. Like, I don't know what our opponent does about this. I'm going to overrun him with 2/2s.
All right, Arbor Elf doing some lifting.
Courser. Council's Judgment.
Black.
Oh my god, is he removing the Deranged Hermit so I can't? Yep. He's preventing recursion shenanigans.
Outstanding. Well, guess what? We still have a bunch of squirrels.
Yeah, I mean, I still get to play Sylvan Caryatid and Pelucranos on this turn. Also this.
Do we attack with a squirrel?
One squirrel.
One single squirrel?
The champion squirrel.
An exalted squirrel.
I dub thee. Also, Vorwash Stronghold with Hornet Queen seems kind of dumb.
If only we had a way to make her die.
I'm sure our opponent will assist us in that, right?
See, yes, opponents can be really wily, though. They can sometimes fool you by not immediately killing your incredibly valuable creatures.
Right, like this Pelucranos here, that if it lives, I'm killing his mana dork so that my opponent gets thrown back in time. I really wanted to do that immediately, but I was only on 6. And I figure if my opponent does kill it here, I'm just going to dread return it back, and then kill his mana dork.
God. Oh, and then immediately dread return something else in case we needed to do that.
I love this deck.
Redundancy. That's the word.
How many animate dead dread return, animate dead, Sun
Unburial
Titan,
Rites.
Unburial Rites, Karmic
Karmic
Guide,
Guide.
Revel Arc?
Revel Arc.
This is that graveyard deck that you basically always want to build. Like it's the deck a Grizzly Salvage was born for.
Grizzly Salvage is the realest freaking card in this deck.
Agreed. Even like
Yeah.
I mean, I know it put some cards in the yard, but it powered this. It will power us through. Well, yeah, I'm sorry, we have Stronghold too, just in case. In case our like other recursion just isn't good enough, and we just need to play Hornet Queen 6 times. If my opponent's play here is like
Hero of Bladehold.
Hold, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, this is what, attack with Pelucranos and then play Hornet Queen.
I'll probably block with Voice of Resurgence. Get a 3/3.
That's reasonable, especially with Hero Bladehold coming on around, but the Hornet Queen stops the attack from ever happening.
What if I had a bunch of Death Touch guys? What if I would love that you attack so I could block with Hornet Queen?
Oh my god, and then I get more Death Touch guys! Or I could play Satyr Wayfinder and just like roll the dice, but that's next turn. Sadly, I can only fight for 3 here. Which does mean I could... Okay, my opponent's just taking the damn hit. I like that my triple green isn't off my lands. Alright, so what if I had this many tokens?
Yep.
Could I have this Voice of Resurgence token, please? It would only be a 13th, the 12/12 with the creatures in play.
No, we picked something important over Voice of Resurgence. The Sylvan Caryatid.
Yeah, the Sylvan... No.
No.
Voice of Resurgence was next to...
It was a green card.
I'm just going to draw cards until we see it.
It was some kind of monocolored card, because we're like, oh, monocolored card is going to be
Easier, yeah.
simpler. Wasn't any Karmic Guide.
Was it...
Well, I can't remember.
Me either.
Shoot.
Hermit.
Oh,
Hermit.
It was next to Deranged Hermit.
The
Okay,
one
well,
card I couldn't find in my deck or in play.
Right.
Man, if this deck had Recurring Nightmare, yeah.
I'm sorry. Recurring Nightmare, Karmic Guide, Revel Arc. I don't need to do anything, right? I could just make 2/2s go into different zones and call that a game.
Yeah.
That's how Magic is played.
Magic is played by putting in creatures into as many zones as possible. as repeatedly as possible.
Whoever makes the most cards change zones wins.
I think that is actually a definition of Magic.
Yeah.
Right?
There is a metric where if you just move more cards into zones, then that's victory.
Yeah. I mean,
A kind of predictor value for victory.
I would love to see that, like, statistically, cards moving in zones, and because I want to say the person that has the most cards shifting in zones is going to win. But yeah, so we finished ours. There's only one outstanding game, and it's B2, the Reeves, and Hank 333. So, have you seen that the Hearthstone expansion stuff is going to be hitting next week?
Wow. Neato.
Next week.
I can't hardly wait. Do we know all the cards yet?
They threw like I saw links to about 60 new ones today. I don't know if it's all, but it felt like a lot.
Good lord.
Like good chunk. They just were like, "All right, it's coming out in a week. Here's, you know what? Here you go. Here's all these cards."
Okay, so is Clockwork Gnome Death Rattle or Battle Cry?
I don't know. Me and Gnome were talking about the card at cross purposes, where he was saying it was a Battle Cry card and I was saying it was a Death Rattle card, because I was like, it fits in the Undertaker deck, and he was like, well, it's pretty good in the mech stuff. And then we both, flipped our card face up, and they had different text, and we were extremely confused. So
that is pretty dang confusing. I frankly hope that it is a Battle Cry card just so Undertaker doesn't get any better.
Yeah, they also announced a couple balance changes to cards. Undertaker suspiciously missing from that list. The Gazet-Zan Auctioneer gained a mana on its cost, Soulfire gained a mana on its cost, and Flare gained a mana on its cost.
Wait, no, not Soulfire.
Soulfire went to 1.
No more Soulfire for 0.
I know.
Okay, maybe that card was always a little powerful.
What do you mean free spells are really, really good? What do you mean free spells that just
4
deal
damage?
4 damage for basically no cost. Yeah, all 3 of those are confirmed. The Flare one was the one that was suspicious. Well, it was like not suspicious, but like odd to me. I didn't expect that one. I kind of expected something with Undertaker, but I guess they're printing a lot of anti-Death Rattle cards.
I don't know how well those are going to actually work.
Right. I don't like printing the Silver Bullet to beat the deck as much as like printing cards that kind of beat it. Like they're I guess let me rephrase. I don't like the Silver Bullets that are specifically designed for one card. Like that's what this is designed for, sort of thing. Rather than something interesting with like maybe like more silence effects or something like that on the cheap. I don't think I've ever had problems with Undertaker. It's just that it causes really, really snowbally games. I've played on both sides of playing an Undertaker that by turn 3 or 4 was a 4/5, and there was nothing that answered it.
Oh, yeah.
And even if there was something that answered it, there were already 4 other creatures in play. But yeah. Yeah, they spoiled. I think there's a new legend in every single faction.
Yeah, I don't understand the flare change at all. That doesn't make sense.
I guess they wanted the card to not be such an auto include.
It's there to make your deck smaller. I always felt like it was cool. Like I was a cool guy for playing it on the rare occasions I actually got to destroy a secret.
I guess they also didn't want it to just like, oh, you paid 3 for your secret and your opponent gets to get rid of it for a no card 1 mana interaction. Like I guess the amount of value you get out of it for 1. I don't know. Those are the all changes. That's it. Those are the only 3 changes. There's a full list of cards. I don't have that. Yes, they did print Letter Bomb. The Warrior Legend puts a mine in your opponent's deck, and when they draw it, they take 10 damage.
The Iron Juggernaut. That's cute.
Mm-hmm.
Mal'Ganis, hey.
Mal'Ganis has a really strong line of text at the bottom of him.
Oh, your hero is immune,
Your
huh?
hero is immune, which just sounds good.
This is in Warlock? It's a shame it's not in Warrior or really any class that can attack.
Right. What, you go Jiraxis and then follow it up with this and you go, ha-ha!
You go Jiraxis and then you need any help?
Right, you needed more.
Jeez.
Does Jiraxis get +2/+2 from it?
Well,
He is a demon.
Are you your
Are you
demon?
your demons?
That's really the question that we're. I would love for. I mean, you could kill Jiraxis with the other card,
Yeah, yeah.
like Sacrificial Pact or whatever it is.
There's going to be a lot of the. I think my favorite thing about this, there's so much science to do again. There's all these. We're going to have to learn new rules interactions and figure them out. Like how does
Oh Lord.
I know there's a creature that grants fairy dragons ability. You know, they're like it's adjacent creatures gain fairy dragon ability. So like, you know, that'll. I think that'll be pretty cool. I think that card's actually pretty nifty. It's the same stats as an ancient mage.
Wait, why is Shaman suddenly the Murloc deck?
I don't know. They just decided that shamans were the Murloc deck and gave the Shaman Legendary a Murloc as well as one of the rares, which just seems. I've never thought of. Honestly, Warlocks were always the one I associated
Right.
with
It's like
Murlocs.
Murloc, because they could just draw a bunch of cards and that's all you needed.
Right. Like. I guess I don't like that they kind of lose out on a legend for that, but the Murloc legend is definitely even playable because it says draw 4 on it when you play it. You know, you play your 7/7 that just says draw 4. Like, even if they're, like, just kind of not that good creatures, it's still big.
Okay, so I'm looking at ostensibly the complete list from Blizzard's Facebook page.
Okay.
Let's see. Looking for anything I haven't seen already. Oh, I hate this. That's not a collectible card, and you can't tell from
Which one?
looking at it. The Boombot.
Yeah, I actually would like that one in certain decks.
Let's see. Explosive sheep we've seen.
If a priest thought steal. Oh, right, the go to full druid card. That's just all players go to full.
Man, I love these that are like summon a cost minion. Like you get some 4-cost minion.
That was a trap link. Haha. I should have seen that coming.
I'm glad that they finally put in just a 3-mana 3/4. I'm really pleased to see that.
Yeah, like just a. There's a. There's a Yeti with like text that's still called a Yeti. I think it's a 4-mana 4/5 mech with. God, I forget the text on it. Yeah,
Okay, officially Clockwork Gnome is Death Rattle, which is annoying.
Okay. Big Divine Shieldman. There's a lot of mechs, and they're backdating some old creatures to be mechs
Yeah.
as well.
Oh my goodness, Goblin Auto Barber is the greatest thing. Wow.
What's the Auto Barber?
Goblin Auto Barber. 2-mana 3/2 mech. Battle Cry, give your weapon +1 attack.
Oh, that's in Rogue too, right? That's,
In Rogue.
Yeah.
That's kind of a good guy. Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty powerful for a Bloodfen Raptor.
Yep.
Like,
They also gave a lot of. Oh, they actually gave some removal spells to both Warrior and Druid gained a type of Assassinate.
oh wow.
The Warriors is, I think, kill just like 7 mana, destroy a minion. This costs 4 less if you control a damaged minion. And then the Druid one is 6, shuffle this minion into its owner's deck. I think that's it. There might be slight like cost differences, but that's the effect it is. So, like, they actually will have a way to deal with big. Yeah, the warrior one is called Crush.
I'd play it just for that.
Yeah, I'm gonna crush this guy. Okay.
I will crush you. And then you play Crush, and it works.
You have to yell that every time you play it. I think that's how the spell works. Maybe that's how it costs less.
Ah, you just use the thing. Use the emote.
Yep. I don't think the druid kill spell is very bad. I mean, sometimes you just have to answer like it answers shuffling a minion into its owner's deck. Answer like say your opponent played Tyrion Fordring, the good old this is a big minion that even if it dies it does something. It gets around the death rattle.
Right. Currently, Hex and Polymorph are the two spells in the game that deal with his stupid ass.
Yeah, silence is the most common, and I think the most annoying I've ever played against was somebody that like played Sylvanas and then just killed their own Sylvanas. I was like, oh, that was strong.